Well, let's say hello to my friendly chap here, Stu. Hello, Stu.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
Oh, my gosh, I'm great.
Are you?
Oh,
Things are looking up.
wow. So great.
Great. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I was worried maybe some of the things going on in the world were a bit of a downer.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've got something really, really good. You're going to love this. This is from Politico. Headline: Pro-Palestinian protesters are backed by a surprising source. You're going to be so surprised.
Wait. Chuck E. Cheese. I would be surprised if Chuck E. Cheese was behind
Chuck E.
them.
Cheese.
Okay.
No, not Chuck E. Cheese.
Not Chuck E. Cheese.
No.
Huh.
George Soros.
Wait.
And the Tides Foundation.
No.
Yes.
I am surprised by that. Not quite as surprised
Yeah.
as Chuck E. Cheese.
You know, every morning I get up because I can't take NPR and I can't take the New York Times Daily anymore. So I listen to Daily Wire and the update for Daily Wire. And one of their, reporters said, and people who give to, like the Tides Foundation, should make sure to tell them that they don't want their money going. No, that's the whole point of the Tides Foundation.
To launder money.
You're not giving money to. I hope it goes to Mother Teresa. It's not going there.
You can give money to whoever you want. So, there's no real reason to have to wish and hope and pray it goes to a specific place. You can just give the money to that place.
Yeah.
If you want to hide where you're giving the money to.
Well, what do you mean by that,
You
Stu?
go, well, that's the setup of the Tides Foundation. And they're not alone, of course. There are other organizations that do similar type things.
Like Act Blue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you give to this general organization.
You mean like Act Red? Oh, no, wait, that one doesn't exist.
Is there a Win Red? There's some other roughly equivalent organization.
Well, good.
With a color.
Quite honestly, good.
But they don't do the same stuff, of course. But
yeah, they're not fomenting revolution in the streets?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. Not here, at least. But it is, it's one of those things where you can give to a centralized place, maybe not have your name on a donation list. Yeah. It's a very convenient thing if you are supporting things that maybe you don't publicly want to acknowledge you're supporting.
So some of the people, Susan and Nick Pritzker, you know who Nick is, right? I mean, Nicky. No, he's the heir to the Hyatt hotel empire. So makes me want to go stay at a Hyatt right away. Let's see. Also, George Soros. I like this one, the Jewish Voice for Peace, which is, they describe themselves as anti-Zionist. I'm trying to figure this out now. I mean, just somebody help me. Just do the math. Just do the math. You're a Jew. And the history of the Jews is to be chased out of wherever it is you live. And you can never really defend yourself because you don't have a country. Okay? There's no place to go. And every place that turns on you takes away your guns and puts you in a camp and tries to kill you. Okay? Now, for the first time since, 2,000 years, you get a country. And the world gives that country to you because its main objective is you are free to defend yourself. And nobody's telling you, go back to where you came from. Okay? Now, you're a Jew, and you're against that. Help me out on the math, because I can't seem to complete the numbers.
It's a difficult one. I mean, you could be critical of an Israeli leadership, right? And still want the Jews to be alive. Right. So you could be that, but being anti-Zionist, it's hard to know exactly how that works out for the Jews. Not well in the past. We know that.
So Rockefeller is giving significant grants to Jewish Voice for Peace, which blamed the October 7th attacks on Israel and the United States. So I don't know if you know that. We're so bad. We're even stealing the bad things that other people do and claiming that they're ours. That's how bad we are. All right, so we have that. Now, the students at NYU. Let me see if we have this particular cut. I do believe we do. Yes, cut 45, please. Students at NYU. Here's what they're chanting.
I can't wait for a new chant. I hope it's something new. I hope it's something that we have. Like,
I don't think I've heard this one.
Oh, really?
I don't think I've heard this one.
That's always exciting when
yeah.
that happens.
So which side do y'all think North Korea supports, Palestine or Israel? Just guess. Palestine. It is Palestine. The DPRK has actually never recognized the state of Israel. They have always upheld the right of Palestinian people to self-determination and resistance.
Yeah.
And this is beyond moral and rhetorical support. The DPRK has actively armed and trained Palestinian resistance for decades.
Yeah.
The PLO,
North
the
Korea.
PFLP, and the
North
DFLP
Korea.
have trained troops by the DPRK.
Wow.
This is the second one of these I've seen.
I mean, this is craziness.
People just sitting there, and she's reading this off a notepad, by the way.
Yeah.
Not as much a chant, unfortunately, but
I
she,
know.
You got to come up with something a little more catchy than that. But she is, I mean, that has to be a North Korean operative, right?
or a Columbia University student, that otherwise known as a complete and total dolt.
Yes, I would agree with that. That's, though, the second one I've seen in one of these protests, not talking about the Palestinians, specifically praising North Korea for their efforts.
I don't.
One
Kids,
of the most repressive regimes in the world.
It's time for non-drag queen story hour, okay? Where the non-drag queen comes out and says, "Listen, kids, North Korea, they starve their own people. Really bad. Concentration camps. You know, that kind of thing. Throwing babies up in the air, seeing who can catch it with a sword. North Korea." Well, I learned a lot from that non-drag queen story hour. How about you, Stu? Sounds like North Korea, bad place. How is this person with a straight face really saying North Korea? And you know whose side they're on? Yeah, our side. North Korea's on our side. They're even training people. I mean, they're with us. Who could stand against us? Oh, I don't know. All the forces of good? Amazing.
Imagine advocating for, I mean, that person's not even advocating for the Palestinian cause. It's more of trying to win people who already support the Palestinian cause over to the North Korean cause, which is fascinating. But imagine wanting to be on that side of any debate. The this isn't even like the high-minded, like, olden days of Cuba or something, right? Like, no, this is North freaking Korea.
We know what they do.
Yeah. This is one of the most repressive regimes on Earth. Probably the most repressive regime on Earth. I mean, you could come up with a couple of competitors, right?
Maybe
but
China.
I think China's a freer. China is at least has people in their country who are
not starving
or who are wealthy, right? I mean, they do international business. North Korea does none of this.
No.
They have everything in their country is controlled by this one family, and this is the place that won't even give like basic surgeries out to their people. That doctors have to come across the borders to give them basic things like cataract surgeries. So they all think that they're blind for life when these basic surgeries would cure them. North Korea is the worst of the worst, right? And now that's the argument they're making. You know what? I like being on the opposite side of that.
It's a kind of, people who say you're on the wrong side of history, what do they know? Well, in this case, I think we could say pretty certain North Korea is never going to be looked at as like, those guys were great.
Yeah.
Back in the day, those guys were really great.
That would be surprising if that's how this turned out.
Yeah. Here's another one. Here's another one I think you'll really enjoy. Why are you out protesting today?
We're asking people why they're protesting here today.
Because I want to see empire fall.
What empire?
From the U.S. to Israel. The empire that's propped up by capitalism.
Oh, shocking.
And
free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free Haiti, free Hawaii, free Puerto Rico, liberation for all.
Wait, free Hawaii, free Puerto Rico?
I'm worried about the freedom of Hawaii right now. It's a huge issue.
I know.
And Puerto Rico.
Quite honestly, if Hawaiians want Hawaii back, I'm cool with that.
It's pretty awesome, though. I kind of like it rounding. It rounds out our country a little bit. Like you ever get it's like when you have a delicious meal and there's just a little bit of garnish on top, kind of rounds it out. I feel like that's Hawaii for us. Like,
Are you saying that this is kind of like a DEI thing? We got to keep it in to
I just
keep
think
our diversity?
I think it improves the recipe a little bit of the country. Like, it's like, you get this great island. You get to go on vacations there.
Right.
I mean, that's...
right. But we did kind of like, hey, nice island you got here. It's ours. And I have no problem giving it back. I really don't.
You just like...
No, I have no problem.
What about the military bases and stuff we have there? Maybe
I'm sure they'll do it.
They'll rent them to us.
Yeah, they'll rent them to us.
Well, that's a new proposal.
Yeah,
so you want to go to the 49 states. What about Alaska? You in on that?
No. Alaska stays. Alaska stays.
Why? You want Alaska over Hawaii? Why?
Absolutely. Because someday we can drill for all that oil and the rare earth minerals.
So you're saying Hawaii just gives us tourism, not enough to fight for it?
I mean, colonialism, not willing to fight for it. Hawaii, not willing to fight for it. I'm really not. I'm really not.
But you want Alaska.
Oh yeah, willing to fight for Alaska. Yeah,
it's a lot of land. It's a lot of land.
We're not gonna give that one up. That's kind of like Texas to me. Texas,
really,
Alaska, nope.
We need to get another state. That we need to turn something else into a state. You can't go with 49. You got to get to a round number. You go
how
Puerto
about we
Rico.
go 48? How about we get rid of California? Why are you going up? Let's go down.
Well, I want a round number. I got to knock out 4 or 5, at least 4 to get me to 45 or 40. I mean, we could do that. We could just knock out
Why not 48?
Because it's not a round number. Am I not saying these words out loud? I keep hearing them in my head. Am I saying round number out loud? I want a round number of states. Okay? That's what I want.
That's a stupid rule. That's a stupid rule.
It may be a stupid rule, but I'm telling you that's what I want.
I can cut 10.
You can cut 10 easy.
I can cut 10 easy.
Okay. Well, it might be a weird-looking map.
New York.
Okay. This is going to help us. Every time we list states that we don't want in the union, this always works out well.
Yeah, New York, Massachusetts,
you're going to go the whole
Oregon,
Northeast probably, right?
Washington, California. New Mexico really doesn't do anything for us.
Really?
It's just kind of there,
Really? I mean, Breaking Bad, that was a great series.
Yeah, but it wasn't really filmed there.
I thought it was.
Was it?
I think it was in
Well,
Albuquerque,
okay, then I put that, but then I balance it out with radiation. The whole dump, which every place, every community needs a dump. And so maybe we keep New Mexico just based on we need a dump.
That's quite an analysis of the beautiful terrain.
Yeah,
of New
it is
Mexico.
beautiful. It is the nicest looking dump I've ever seen.
Okay, all right.
I'm not saying that we dump our garbage there. I'm saying we dump our nuclear waste there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the same as garbage. That's expensive waste. That's like, that's like waste from rich people.
So you can get me to 40. You don't want to go to 50. No interest in going to 50. What if we just split? Wasn't there a split between Idaho, part of Idaho wanting to pull out, or Oregon wanting to pull out? And
Oregon.
Some of these, there's a bunch of these secession movements.
That was just going to become part of Idaho. Oregon, half of Oregon was like, oh, you people are crazy. And they were like, I'd rather be with the potato people.
What if we just go with East Oregon and get a new state? Get you to 50.
No.
We get 2 more senators from a conservative state there doing it that way.
No, because then they'll demand Puerto Rico. No, we freed Puerto Rico. That's right.
Okay, we freed Puerto Rico?
We freed Puerto Rico. Of course we have. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think we've also evacuated the dump called Washington, D.C. That's where we keep our dump. That's where we hey, all our garbage goes to the District of Columbia.
That would be an interesting proposal.
Our prisoners.
Especially because they're always complaining. And the prisoners?
And the prisoners.
This is a good idea.
Yeah.
Because 2 big, first of all, Washington, D.C., very liberal. 2 proposals they're very interested in. Number 1 is freeing prisoners, right? They always want prisoners freed. They always say that the prison industrial complex or whatever. So just free them all, but they all go to D.C.
Right. They all go to D.C. You're allowed to walk around in D.C.
And conveniently.
Except for the hardened criminals. We just leave them where they are. We just lock the front doors and the back doors and the side doors of the Capitol.
Right.
The hardened criminals have to stay
Congress.
there.
Okay.
Yeah. But everybody else can walk around.
I like that. And then the trash, they're always worried about the environment. Well, I mean, what better motivator to help clean up the trash problem than all the trash goes directly to Washington, D.C.?
Amen. Amen, brother.